Hello everyone, this is the first video of the Rust crash course, in which I'm going to teach you all the basics and also some advanced topics about Rust. And why should you learn Rust in the first place? Well, it is an increasingly popular language, which is going to last for at least 40 years, and if you learn it properly, I'm going to assure you, you're gonna get jobs for a lot of years to come. And it's not the easiest language around, okay? Not the most difficult either, but it's so fast, so powerful, so efficient that it's really worth learning, okay? So most of the videos will be loosely based on the official Rust book, which is a wonderful resource, and if you have any doubt, you should check it out first. And without further ado, we could start writing some Rust code. And the first thing you should do is installing Rust itself. So I'm currently using Windows for this video, so I'm going to download the rust app init.exe here. Then what it does, it's opening this command prompt. You just type 1 and then enter. And what it does, basically, you press enter again, and it installs Rust in your system. And a way to verify if the installation went okay is just opening the command prompt and typing rust c ---- version. And as you can see, I have Rust installed. So now the next thing to do is creating our first project, our Hello World project. So I'm going to create a folder in the document. So I'm the command prompt. So I'm going to make the dir test rust. Even better, hello Rust. Okay, I have created that directory. I'm going to go into that and open Visual Studio Code, which is a nice editor for, in this case. From now on, I'm going to use the Visual Studio Code terminal because I like it better. And the first thing you should do to create your first project is typing cargo init dot. Okay, and what this command does is basically initializing a new Rust project in the current directory, okay? If you don't know it already, cargo is the official Rust package manager. It's like PIP for Python or Godot for Golang, okay? It's just the package manager. And if you type cargo init, it's going to create a local folder structure in the current directory. So what you will see now is that we have a cargo.toml, which is like the requirements.txt for Python, or with Go modules, the go.mode. It's basically the file on which you are going to write all the project metadata and all the dependencies, okay, all the libraries and so on and so forth. You can do a lot of stuff with this file, but for now, let's focus on the simple stuff. Then you're going to see the src source directory in which we are going to see main.rs, okay? So main.rs is indeed the first entry point of the program itself. As you can see, we are already seeing hello world, okay? So in this case, I'm going to change it a bit and say hello Rust, okay? And we're going to compile it. I'm going to save it first. I'm going to compile it with cargo build. And then, as you can see, I can type cargo run. Okay. As you can see, hello Rust. You see it up here. Of course, a nice trick is that if we type cargo run, it's going to compile it in one single step. So if I change it to hello Rust 2, for example, and save it, cargo run is going to compile it and then run the program again. Okay, so what does println does? As you can see, and that's a thing that coming from other languages, it's a bit strange, is this exclamation mark here. So println is not a function, it is a macro, okay? In the next few videos, I'm going to explain why this matters, but for now, just remember that to print something, you type println, or just print if you like to print without a new line, okay? And remember, with an exclamation mark, it is a macro and not a function. That's really it for the first part. As you can see, it created a target directory. In the debug directory inside it, we are going to see hello-rust.exe, which is our executable files. And that was all for this video. If you have any question, please write a comment below, and we are going to talk in the next video in which I'm going to explain variables.